Just to introduce myself, as Mr. Bevere said, my name is Erin Seitzma. I'm a senior here. I attended Veritas since my freshman year, and before that I attended Sussex Christian School up until 8th grade. And I've been involved in a lot here, and so it's kind of cool that I get to talk to you guys from a student's perspective about a lot of different areas of the school here. And so I can honestly say that coming here as a freshman has really changed me in a lot of different ways and shaped me into the person I am today. And at these things, I know that's what everyone probably says. You always hear that the institution is a great place to go and it changes you. But I can honestly say that I would not be who I am today without the school in my life. And so I'm just going to be sharing some influential parts of the school. I'm sure you've heard of the 3 A's that we talk about, which is academics, athletics, and the arts. I'm just going to be touching on a little bit of that stuff as well as leadership, which is really important here. So first is academics. Obviously, that's a big part of school. It's probably why you're going to be sending your kids to a school, is so they can learn. So Veritas is small, and that might seem like the opportunity for academics is lacking. But as I traveled through the program, I realized that a smaller school can actually offer more opportunity than a larger one. And that means that because the students are in such a smaller environment, they can really learn from the teachers in a different way, and they can have more one-on-one involvement, which is a huge part of Veritas. So I have taken advantage of countless school hours and lunch times and study halls and emails late at night just to get help on assignments. And I can just think of, is Miss Morrison in here? Okay. There's this one time that I had this project in pre-calculus, and I am not a math person at all. I can't do math. And so at midnight, I'm trying to do this project, and I call Miss Morrison on my cell phone, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so she helped me through the project. And that's just like one example of the teachers here. They're really involved, and they're really genuinely care about each student, and not just their academics, but their life. Like, they really want to pour into these children's lives. And so another great aspect of the school here is college preparation. We're not like labeled as a college prep school, but that is a huge part of the academics. And I know Mrs. Benson is going to talk a lot about DE and AP courses and college credits that you can get here. But dual enrollment basically means that students can take courses here and get college credit. She's going to explain that more in detail. But just to give you an example, I've taken dual enrollment courses in public speaking, world literature, British literature, and business 101. And so along with AP United States history, I'm graduating in this spring with over 12 college credits for school. And so that's a really big deal. I know if you've had children go through college before, that can almost knock out an entire semester of college. And so that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And so if your student gets on that track in sophomore year, that can really make a big difference in the long run. And she's going to talk a lot more about that later. But also that can fill in extra spaces in college. So if you don't want to knock out a semester, but you want to fill in with minors. So I wanted to get a minor in sociology, and so I'm going to get that with the extra space that I took up, if that makes sense. So I have less courses that I'll need to take as prereqs. And so that's just a lot of gobbledygook to say. It's really good. But also it's just a high level of academia, and so students are graduating able to handle college level courses. And my brother graduated, I think in 2009, but he was not a student per se, but he graduated ready to handle college courses. And that's a huge deal, and my parents obviously really appreciated that because he could get through college a lot easier. So another really meaningful part of Veritas is athletics. So I'm sure a lot of your students are athletes. And we do offer varsity level women's soccer, women's and men's soccer, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and track. So if any of your students fall under that, they'll definitely be able to play. And our programs are designed to push each athlete to a level of excellence and exemplify TRP. And TRP is our motto for sports as well as academics, as well as just relationships. And it means total release performance. And that means that no matter what position you play or what role you have on the team, whether it's a manager or whether it's the last player on the bench, you're going to be playing to the glory of God. And that's such a big part of our program here. in our sports. And so you're not playing for your own glory, but you're playing to the glory of the Lord. And so that means that when you play against teams, Mr. Gaffney is my basketball coach, and he always says that your opponents are not your opponents, but they're your teammates in pushing you to a higher level of excellence. So it's a totally different way to look at sports. And because of that, we are really successful, and that's really fascinating to a lot of other teams. And we placed in first this year and second last year in the women's basketball programs. And we just traveled down to the Mideast Regional Conference in Maryland. We just got back 2 days ago, and we finished in third there. So it's just, we end up being really successful because of this motto, which is really awesome. And so we do get to play some bigger schools, as well as Walk Hill, Kinnatini, Eastern Christian, High Point. They played them in soccer a couple years ago, and they do really well against those opponents. So the next aspect that I'm going to be talking about is the arts. So Veritas offers choir, band, contemporary ensemble, and theater productions, and as well as just like basic art classes, which I think Mrs. Benson will be talking about a little bit as well. But I think the coolest thing about Veritas is that even if you're not going to be someone who's majoring in theater when you get to college, and you just want to be part of a production, you can be. And that's why the opportunity here is so great. That I'm not a crazy theater, but I have been in the theater production for the past 4 years. And some of my friends have been as well. And I'm not, I wouldn't probably be playing on a huge high school basketball team in like a regional high school, but I'm able to play here, and I'm able to do the theater, and I'm able to be very successful in academics. So it's a really, really cool opportunity. In contemporary ensemble, you can ask Mr. Gaffney about that afterwards, or myself. We're both involved in that. And that's just teaching kids how to lead worship in churches, and it's pushing kids to lead worship and go back to their own churches and lead worship in a way that's glorifying to the Lord, which is really awesome. And then theater programs are very strong. We have done Peter Pan, Beauty and the Beast, Annie, Seussical, Fiddler on the Roof. We're doing Crazy for You this year. Come see it. That was a little plug. But they are Broadway level productions, and they're really fun to be a part of. It's just a really big part of the community here, which is a lot of fun.